In this video, we'll be taking a look at all today's NCAAF matchups, and I'll break them all down with free winning picks so you can bet smarter and win bigger. But first, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get our picks the second they drop, because when the lines move, the early birds cash in. And if you want the full winning sport picks experience, head over to wspicks.com and check out our VIP packages, or grab a free consultation with one of our professional sports consultants for the sharpest edge you'll find anywhere. That's where the real plays live. We are your bookmaker's worst nightmare. These are the games we're hammering, the ones the books can't afford you to bet. This is Winning Sport Picks. The free picks are about to drop, and they're coming in hot. We start with East Carolina versus Pittsburgh, and this is a classic bowl-style mismatch where the market still leaves you a backdoor. Pittsburgh is laying 10, while East Carolina is catching 10, and that number alone tells you books expect control, but not dominance. Total sitting around 52, and this is where pace expectations matter. Pittsburgh games tend to slow when they're favored, shorten possessions, and force opponents to grind. East Carolina thrives in ugly, stretched games where margin matters more than efficiency. The total feels inflated for a matchup that profiles more conservative than explosive. I'm taking East Carolina plus 10, and I'm going under 52. Next up is Penn State versus Clemson, and this line is telling a serious story. Penn State catching 3 while Clemson is laying it means the market is still pricing brand power, not current form. Penn State hasn't been reliable laying or taking short numbers, especially when games tighten late. Clemson, meanwhile, has been extremely comfortable in one-score games where field position and tempo control decide everything. The total is sitting right at 48, which signals a slower defensive first battle. This game profiles tight, physical, and methodical. I'm taking Clemson minus 3, and I'm leaning under 48. Now we go to Connecticut versus Army, and this is one of the most misread games on the board. Army laying 7 while Connecticut catches a full touchdown. Is the books daring you to trust the favorite? Army games are all about pace suppression, clock control, and limiting total possessions. That's why the total sits at 42. Connecticut doesn't need to win. They just need to survive and keep this from turning into a blowout. Low totals plus touchdowns are always dangerous for favorites. I'm taking Connecticut plus 7, and I'm riding the over 42 because efficiency beats volume here. Next is Georgia Tech versus Brigham Young, and this number is tight for a reason. BYU laying 3 tells you the market sees this as near even on a neutral field. Georgia Tech has been extremely live in games where they are catching points, especially when totals sit in the mid-50s. Speaking of the total, 55 is right on the edge, but both teams push tempo more than the public realizes. This feels like a possession trading game rather than a grind. I'm taking Georgia Tech plus 4, and I'm going over 55. Now we head to Miami of Ohio versus Fresno State, and this is a spot where public perception overshoots reality. Fresno State laying 5 while Miami of Ohio catches it tells you the market expects control, not separation. Miami of Ohio has been solid staying inside numbers, especially when totals climb into the low 40s. The total is 41, and that's a classic slow build number that can creep up late with field position scoring. I like the dog here. I'm taking Miami of Ohio plus 6, and I'm taking over 41. Next up is North Texas versus San Diego State, and this line screams trap. San Diego State laying 6 while North Texas catches it tells you the books don't trust the favorite to pull away. The total sits at 52, which implies scoring opportunities, but San Diego State games often stall in the red zone. North Texas doesn't need to be efficient. They just need to hang around. This is another number where margin matters more than the winner. I'm taking North Texas plus 6, and I'm leaning under 52. Now we've got Virginia versus Missouri, and this is one of the sharper numbers on the board. Missouri laying 4 while Virginia catches it tells you the market expects Missouri to control pace but not dominate. The total is 44, which fits a lower tempo, possession-heavy game script. Virginia has been far more competitive when catching points than when asked to dictate. Missouri doesn't push pace when ahead, which keeps games inside numbers. I'm taking Virginia plus 4, and I'm taking over 44. Last game on the card is LSU versus Houston, and this is where the market might be a step late. Houston laying 1 while LSU catches a point tells you this is nearly a pick'em despite public brand bias. The total sits at 41, which is low for a matchup that has more explosive potential than the number suggests. Houston has been comfortable in tight games, but LSU's ability to trade scores late makes the total interesting. I'm taking LSU plus 1, and I'm going over 41. Now listen to me, those are the free picks, but the one game I am unloading on tonight, the game that's going to crush your bookie's soul, that's the VIP play of the day at WSPicks.com. This is the nuke, the hammer, the max bet, the one play I've circled, the game that will bury your bookmaker 6 feet under. When it hits, and it will, your bookie is going to need a doctor, a lawyer, and maybe even a priest. If you want to ride with me on the biggest bet of the day, get to WSPicks.com right now. Now let's recap everything we're locking in today. East Carolina plus 10 and under 52. Clemson minus 3 and under 48. Connecticut plus 7 and over 42. Georgia Tech plus 4 and over 55. Miami of Ohio plus 6 and over 41. North Texas plus 6 and under 52. Virginia plus 4 and over 44. And LSU plus 1 and over 41. This is Winning Sport Picks, where we don't just bet, we bury bookmakers. Smash that subscribe button, drop your favorite plays in the comments, and hammer that like button like you're hammering your bookie into the dirt. We're cashing, we're dominating, and tonight we're dancing on the grave of your bookmaker. Let's go!